Who's watching the camera?
What camera?
Camera on the windscreen, it's been flashing since Carlisle.
No idea, pal.
And then it came on when I was on my break as well.
I can't imagine anybody on
Someone's watching it because I've got documentation telling me when I see that flashing light it's sending video images over the network. So someone's watching it now as we're talking.
I have no idea, mate. I don't even know who's got access to it.
Someone's doing it because it wasn't doing it yesterday. And I started doing it before when I come down from Carlisle and it hasn't
Well,
stopped.
you need to speak to the directors that may also drive management, because obviously it's nothing to do with any of us.
I've raised it with a grievance as well.
I can tell you, mate, it's not me or because that's the only people that are on.
Right.
Why would me do it?
No idea.
Even if we had the capacity to.
No idea. No idea. Do I need to keep this empty on for tomorrow?
So are you saying that, so let me just get to the bottom of this, because I'm a little bit concerned here, mate. Are you saying that you think me or Dan is doing something?
I'm saying somebody within the business is watching the cameras now.
Well, for what reason?
I have no idea.
I honestly don't even know if that's the capability they've got.
Right, well, there's a software called Street Angel. Yeah? That compliance I've got. And on that Street Angel allows you to pull video images from the unit. It allows you to detect when it's hit the curb. It allows you to...
I know that it'll have auto record on shocks and stuff, because obviously dash cams do that without even being a truck thing.
Right. So being in talks with the guy from Camera Telematics, yeah, in a conversation with him, and in a conversation he's explained to me what them lights are doing on the back of the camera.
I just don't know who'd be watching your camera on a Saturday morning.
No idea.
Yeah.
People keep watching it all the time.
I'd rather do less with me then, mate, to be perfectly honest, no offence to you. Well, if you think it's me or mate, I think you're probably barking very much up the wrong tree.
Someone's doing it.
The only people, if that is something that they can do, the only people I could even think having access to that would be compliance, and then anybody's further up the tree than them.
Orwell as well.
What?
Yeah. In the past I spoke to Orwell and told him exactly the same what I'm telling you.
Yeah.
When he pulled up, he pulled up my truck on the screen, and as soon as he pulled my truck up on the screen, that camera started flashing.
What, pulled it from the track, you know, on some sort of video feed?
Well, it's not from very location. It's a different system that he's using.
Because that's literally all we've got is Verilic. Well, it's all mid. How would you have anything like that?
I don't know. It's a bit strange how I can see that camera flashing from the moment I switch the ignition on. I put my card in at 6 o'clock in the morning and continue to flash for 6 hours.
Who's looking at your camera at 6 in the morning?
On a weekend, exactly. Someone obviously surveilling me.
Why?
I don't know. I do not know.
For what possible reason would anybody do that?
To catch it out to doing something that you shouldn't be doing.
Like what?
I don't know. Because I can demonstrate it coming on when I'm cleaning out the truck with personal belongings, or I'm fueling up.
I've not heard it from anybody else on the fleet.
Nobody else has asked about it or he paid any attention to it until I raised it.
But who on 6 on a clock on a Saturday morning is going to be looking at that? Because I was in the Peak District.
Well, that's it.
What's interested for? Mark drives the fucking things.
I I've no idea, but you know, these times and occasions when you've rang up and you'd explain it to me, oh yeah, I know that, yeah, I've got you on screen, I can see that.
Well, I can track you, I can see where you are on the map, obviously. But that's normal for everybody. That's every firm in the world that can track where you are. Like I'm tracking you now, and I'm assuming it'll make no difference to it.
No.
So I've got you on various location tracking, but it just shows me on the map where you are.
You can also track the vehicle from Street Angel as well.
But I've never even heard of it. You know, I've never even seen a login screen, a bit of software, whatever.
Well, it's what camera telematics are telling me, like, 'cause when I asked for it, for documentation on them lights on that camera, the guy Mark Stanford come back and he said to me what the lights are doing, and he sent out a manual of Street Angel to me, and I don't think he realised who he was sending it to, because it was only later after he'd sent it, he asked who I was.
I don't doubt what you're telling me, but I'm trying to figure out who would want to and why. Look, I'm assuming, obviously, it wouldn't be me, because I'm not like that.
Well, I don't know. The finger pointed at the company, and whoever is sat behind the terminal.
Well, I'm sat at home on my settee, mate.
Yeah.
I can assure you I've got better ways to spend my Saturday morning than watch you drive down the motorway.
I'd like to hope so.
And I don't understand, mate. I don't get it. I'm trying to think of a situation where I wouldn't be in the slightest bit interested. And I wouldn't be. Especially at 6 o'clock on a Saturday morning.
Well, I'm hoping wrong about you, because, you know, up until this point...
Well, mate, if you want to accuse me of it, you crack on down that route.
Well, I'm accusing everybody, because the way it's going on and it's randomising, it's distracting me, and it's going to cause an accident.
Well, okay, mate, you can crack on and accuse me if you want, but I think you're starting to sound a little bit general in your accusations and stuff, mate.
Okay. Well, let's put it this way. When I come to work, my relationship is I'm in this vehicle, and then anybody else I speak to on the phone is the company. So there's me, and there's the company.
Right, well, if that's how you want to differentiate your job, Cal, speak to HR, mate.
I've already brought it up with them.
Well, there's not much I can do then, Cal, because I'm not HR.
Yeah.
If you want to make it just a purely a business thing, then we'll go down that route from now on, mate.
Well, that's the way I'm approaching everybody now, Dave, because it just seems like...
I've never been like that with you, mate, but if that's how you want to be, I'll do the same.
Yeah, that's fine.
Don't ring me about your camera, ring HR.
What's going on with this trailer? Do we need to leave it on for tomorrow?
Let's have a look. You're due for a WC fuse, aren't you?
Yeah.
You can drop it, mate, because that's to take two trailers into Runcorn today, and I don't want to leave them in there. You can go and pick one of them up.
Right, okay.
Otherwise, them two trailers will get stolen by WST before we know what's happened. Yes, no bother. As I say, I don't want to fall out with you, mate, but it's...
I don't want to fall out with you, and if you speak to... I've spoke highly of you, but I'm a little bit pissed off because I've raised it as a grievance, and people have given me the right information to tell me or to confirm my suspicion. So it's still continuing, and it is stressing me out big time.
I honestly don't understand to what end, though. That's my thing, that's the real thing's really sticking with me. Who's doing it, why?
They've got this new system now where it's capable of watching the trucks live. So in the past, the drivers have
I
rang
can
in.
understand if it was in the middle of the day on a weekday, what, 6 o'clock on a Monday, on a Saturday morning?
Yeah, no, it wasn't.
For that length of time?
It wasn't this Saturday. It was a couple of weeks ago, and it was a weekend.
He was sitting and watching it for that length of time.
I've no idea. No idea.
It makes no sense to me.
Where's Colin, mate?
Out of a fleet of 100 odd drivers, who can sit and watch your camera at 6 o'clock on Saturday morning?
No, there's someone who's got an hard-on for me, I bet.
No, like I say, no offence to you, but I can't cope. I'd rather spend my time doing less.
Well, I wish I could put you in my position, or you would
Do you
experience.
understand why I'm confused though?
Well, it's not confused. You're annoyed that I've accused you, and I do understand that. But at the minute, I'm accusing anyone because it's inconsistent. It's inconsistent the way it's behaving, and it's not normal.
Well, I can assure you, mate, I parked my camper van at Castleton last night and woke up at 8 o'clock this morning and started at 9. So, I think I'd rather look at the view of Castleton than you guys.
Yeah.
I'm afraid.
It didn't start at 6 o'clock this morning. It only started at approximately about 11 o'clock when it come past Carlisle. As soon as I come past Carlisle, it hasn't stopped since.
Honestly, don't need to spend the weekend doing it, mate. If you ever find out, let me know, because that's a bizarre thing to be doing with your time.
I know. Well, hopefully, when the
That's not a normal behaviour, is it?
No, it's not. No. So they obviously you've been in one of the subs, have you not?
Briefly in one of these, I've been in a million scandals, but I know where they're mounted just in the front of the windscreen.
Yeah, these 3 lights on the back of it.
I understand if it's sending data because it's backing up or whatever, but if you're telling me that's 100% somebody watching it live.
Yeah, well, there's one light that gives you 2 indications, and the 2 indications being it'll flash or it'll be a steady constant. And I was told when it's a steady constant, it's talking to the server, so that's where it's storing all the data. And then when
That's where it's dragging the images back up, yeah. I get that.
Yeah. And then when it's flashing, it's talking on the network. So I asked the question, well, when it's talking on the network, what's that doing? And when there's an event like a harsh braking or there is a collision, how does it send that information? Yeah, how does it send that information? And it sends it over the network.
Yeah.
So if I'm looking at a flashing light now for 6 hours, that's telling me that video footage is being sent over the network.
So you've not actually had clarification if that's the case?
No, because no one's responding to my grievance now.
Because you said to the bloke at the camera company that told you that's what was up.
Yeah, and he stopped responding to the email. When I asked the question, what's it sending when it's talking on the network, and what's it sending when it's talking on the server, and I want a copy of all my data.
That's what you need to know, the difference between either backing up video or being a live feed are 2 separate things, aren't they?
Yeah, and that's what the light tells you. When it's flashing, it's going on the network, and when it's steady, it's going
Well, being on the network, it could be sending your video footage to be stored on a hard drive.
The what hard drive? It's supposed to be going to the server, isn't it? That's where the hard
That's
drive.
what I mean. If it's going to the server,
Yeah.
because obviously your camera will only store X amount of gigabytes of data,
Yeah.
and then I assume it transfers some of that back to the server
Yeah.
and deletes it.
Yeah. Well, it stores it for 6 months. It's got to be there for 6 months.
Yeah, on the server.
Yeah.
Obviously your camera will only hold a finite amount of footage on the machine.
Yeah. You can also go to the phone as well. You can watch
Well, that's
it.
what you need to know, whether that light indicates it's just backing up data, or whether it's live stream.
Well,
Because it accessing the network doesn't mean somebody's watching it. It means that it's accessing the network and transmitting data of some sort.
yeah. Well, what when you say some sort, what data will it be sending?
They could be sending the actual video footage for archive.
Right. Which should go to server.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. But when
Because
it's
obviously
going
it'll only store a certain amount locally on the camera, would be my guess.
yeah, so when it's on the network, it's either going to be receiving firmware update or it's going to be transmitting data
Transmitting
live.
files to the server. Yeah.
No, not to the server. To the operator operating Street Angel, the
No,
dashboard.
that's not how it works.
Well,
If it's sending data, that could be just data from the camera to the server to back it up.
well, but that'd be a steady light then, wouldn't it?
I don't know, because I don't know how they work. But if this work's not totally conclusive that that's what that light means, you wouldn't.
No. No, not at all.
If he's told you that light means it's transmitting data, yeah?
So that light, this is the guy from Camera Telematics, said that light, when it's flashing, is talking of the network.
Yeah. So it's transmitting data.
Yeah.
But the data it could be transmitting could be anything.
Right, so when the light is constant and it's transmitting to the server, there's your transmission to the server.
Yeah, which could be for backing up because the camera's full, or like you say, firmware updates or whatever.
No, when the firmware update comes through, that comes through on the network, because that's a live talk to the device. That's what
Well,
networks
surely
are
there's only
for.
one light is there only one light that shows data transmission?
No, the light when it's flashing is talking on the network. So it'll be talking
Yeah, but what's it talking to?
So it'll be talking to the computer at Camera Telematics, the operator there, or it'll be talking to compliance or the
Not to
depot
the server
controllers.
because it's backing up.
No, because we've already said when it's talking to the server, it's a constant light.
Yeah.
That is a difference. That is a distinguishable difference there, Craig. If it's talking to
That's what I'm trying to get to. That's what I'm trying to figure out.
if it's talking to the server, the light will be constant. So it's
Right,
not
so
now.
say it's uploading video footage for archive. It's constant
Yeah.
light. Yeah.
Yeah, constant. As soon as I switch on the system, it's talking to the server. As soon as
I don't know. I honestly don't know what to tell you, mate. I don't know why you, or why just particularly you, and why at that sort of strange time of day.
well, it's not just me. They're doing it to all the fleet, but
You're going to sit and watch all the drivers.
to sit there and watch me individually for that length of time, you're looking for something. Well, I'm not directing it at you, because the more we're talking, I tell that it's not you, but whoever it is behind it.
Honestly, mate, I haven't got the fucking time or interest. If I had enough time in the day to sit and watch you drive down the motorway, I'd be another job.
Well, that's the issue.
I fancy having you too, because if you haven't done it, I do anything wrong, it auto flags anyway. If you ever hit something, they'll know because I'll be in a van. So other than that, well, why would they be interested? Just see that.
Just what?
Just see that.
Yeah. I've been watching it, and it's according to him. It doesn't happen as frequent to him as it does to me.
I know I sound just, I don't know, I just don't understand.
The only other person that it happens to that I know of as much is
I just can't read why you two in particular.
I know, me neither.
I'm sorry, I know I've sounded vague all the way through this conversation, but I'm not understanding why anybody would have the interest. You know, it's an alien thought process to me.
Because it's a form of control and power, isn't it?
We get to talk about that. I've got enough country phone to drive and dealing with the problems.
Some people just, it goes to their head, and you just think, yeah, your right don't mean anything.
You know, mate. I'm one of them. I'd rather just go to work and go home. I'm only here to earn a wage.
Yeah, me too. Me too. I'm only here because I have to be here.
Well, just a thing I've never heard of the bit of software.
Well,
But, mate, if I hear it, I'll let you know. I'll speak to Dad and see if Dad knows out about it.
now I've said it to you. Go onto Camera Telematics website and look at what their unique selling point is.
But I'd be intrigued to know what, like, as I said, the only people I could have thought would have had it would have been compliance and maybe the higher ups.
Yeah, well, you know when you've got head up,
Yeah.
yeah, who shouldn't be where she is, pumping out safety briefings and threatening letters.
I'm not getting involved in that conversation.
Well, there you go. It's people from within the office are destroying the company.
I can't, to be honest, pal, it'll be somewhere outside the transport, I'll bet you, outside the planning office, because none of us have any interest in it.
Might be very location then.
Well, we've got obviously very location.
Not very location, sorry. Camera Telematics.
I've never heard of it. I've never heard of that Street Angel, whatever it was you said it's called, either. And I thought I'd heard somebody mention it in conversation. If anybody in the family knew about it.
I can send you the documents if you want.
I'll look it up on Google, mate, because I'm just a bit surprised by it all.
I'll send you the manual for that Street Angel showing you the parameters and the controls it's got. So what my primary annoyance is
well, what baffles me is because obviously like the other week we had a driver with a bit of power crane come off the trailer.
Yeah.
And if anybody else was in transport knew that we had access to the camera, we would have looked at them.
Well, when my accident happened, someone looked at the camera to watch mine.
So who was that? Somebody in compliance or somebody in planning?
He's not here.
So Jim was a depot controller, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Because nobody in planning ever mentioned functionality that I know of. Because otherwise we'd use it for various reasons. Just work related, stuff we need to see or that. So no, it's all very strange. I could understand if there was an ongoing issue as well, but there's not, is there?
No, but what my annoyance is, why I've raised it, is the fact that I don't mind if you want to watch the fucking cameras whenever you want.
But do you know me? If you have an issue and somebody's after the take out, I'm going to have to look at your cameras about this because something's gone off it.
Yeah, I mean, but
and that's that, isn't it?
If the company told the drivers that the system's being used on, what the system's doing, its capabilities, what it's capturing, and what if that's informed.
Well, that'd be absolutely fine because I told you.
That'd be informed consent. But it's not.
Well, my old firm, we installed these about 4 or 5 years ago. Because we let Paul's Golf next door the 360 cameras. But we said to all the drivers down and said, look, this is what the cameras will do. This is why we'll ever get the footage off them. And the drivers were all fine with it. We had no internal facing cameras. But like you say, if somebody said to you, this has happened and somebody's complained about this, we're going to have to check footage. Yeah. Surely that's all it needs, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, and even if I was like on my induction day, I was told, yeah, we've got cameras and they're just for insurance purposes.
Yeah. It's normal. It's all normal in lots of places.
Harsh braking, right? Now, there's never been any documentation in the handbook telling you about system. But at that point...
Well, obviously they never told us about it. Nothing's either, or most of us.
But now they've changed the system, they've gone on to a new thing, and they've not informed anyone, so that's illegal. Because obviously...
I'm just struggling to see what they gave me, because they're not even sacking drivers.
I don't know.
Well, you know what I mean? Like this whole thing about edge protection. Surely if they had access to that, they could just say your edge one's up, I'm sacking you.
Don't get me going on that fucking thing.
Well, no, I don't want to get down the rabbit hole of that because I had that 1,000 times last week, but you see where I'm coming from?
I've told them, I fought it, I contested it, and like every other dickhead is just sitting there going, moaning and not speaking up.
Well, yeah, well, I said to the engine drivers, ring them and say, look, this is going to affect my job because X, Y, and Z. And that's what I did as well. I said to them, look, this isn't reasonable. We need to at least have the provision that we can tell them to run without it. And that's what's aimed at the family, because it's common sense.
Yeah, should be left to the driver to decide.
Well,
there's no excuse.
There has to be a lie in some way, yes, I agree.
There's no excuse for the driver turning up to a site saying that he's not got it, kicking off that he's got it.
Realistically, what should have happened is the drivers who caused the issue and lost the contract should have been sacked.
Yeah.
They should have been dealt with on an individual basis. Yeah. And if they can access the cameras like you're saying, then why the hell aren't they using it for that?
I've no idea. And there's also track and trace. You know, everything is electronically track and trace. To turn on and say that they can't find it, it just seems a little bit lazy to me.
Well, the tracking for the units is obviously commonplace. Every firm tracks the units.
So if there was an issue of spanning over a 7-day period, all you've got to do is look at who's on that job over them 7 days, and then
I can track you 6 months ago.
Yeah. So there is a way and a means, but the quick fix was to threaten people and say, no, this is what we're doing now. This is where we're going, regardless of you know, the right measures and steps that the company's supposed to take. No, this is what I'm saying.
Well, I had this conversation with numerous people last week, so all they're doing is punishing you and plan. Because we can't get the job done because you need to get your head up from there. And they shouldn't ask anybody who actually did the job, did they? And what they should have done, like you say, is gone back and said, who was it? Him, and him, right, on the morning. Honestly, I don't know what to make an entire conversation. It wasn't what I expected on a Saturday morning.
Well, as you can tell, mate, I'm at the end of my tether now. And
yeah,
it's ridiculous.
I'll see if I can find that out, mate, 'cause it all seems truly bizarre to me.
Well, if you speak about it, that will confirm what I've had the same conversation with him. I've had exactly the same, and that was a couple of weeks ago. And I've worked my way through all of the planners to try and work out.
I can't see it being any of us 4 and 4 off. So I've never heard any of them now or the last time I was here talk about it. What would we have to gain from it as well?
I don't know.
We've got enough on doing our own job.
I don't know.
Can you really see us having the time to sit and watch you for 6 hours?
I know.
There's got to be somebody in a position where they're not doing an actual job.
Well, that's what I'm being told as well. You know, we haven't got time to sit down and watch you for that length of time.
Well, nobody in the planning role has. Can you imagine the transport for the planners can spend that much time watching a video for it?
I know.
It doesn't happen. There's got to be somebody in another function, surely, by logic, hasn't it?
Well,
it's got to be or a HR or somebody.
By logic, yeah. By logic, yeah.
That's where my brain would take me, at least.
Well, my brain's took me all over the place. Trust me, all over the place. And it's
unfair. Well, let me know, because it's all a bit bizarre. But honestly, you need to keep raising it, mate, because if it's causing you, obviously, emotional issues and distress, which you will do, then you can't be doing that.
Well, I'm waiting for them to deal with the grievance, and up to now, they've dealt with the grievance.
But it can't bring you to a position where we're having a conversation like this on the Saturday morning.
Well, no, I mean,
you can't work in I can't work for a company where the driver's questioning my honesty about something.
Yeah, I understand that.
Because I've never had that. I've always got on with my drivers. I've always, and that's why it offended me when he said it.
Well, I apologise.
No, I understand where you're coming from. I'm not using that as a tool to beat you with.
No, but you owed the apology, and I apologise.
Because obviously I'm always honest with everybody, and if you talk to the drivers, I'll tell you. And it annoys me that you've got to a position where you can't trust people you work with.
Yeah, mate, I know. It's annoyed me too.
Because that's the last thing you need on the job, there's enough issues without that.
I know.
So I'll do some digging, mate. If I find that out, I'll let you know.
Well, you don't have to. Now that I've raised it with you...
I want to know, mate. I want to know what's causing it and why.
But,
so I don't like... I view one of my responsibilities to drivers to include stuff like this.
Yeah. like I said,
If you mention something to me, I'm not going to leave it.
like I said, look into that camera telematics website, and you'll see on there their unique selling point is live streaming and assessing drivers' behaviour behind the wheel.
I'll have a look out on our network, right, see if I can see it out as well, mate.
I'm gonna go because I'm at the fuel station. And
Yeah, well, yeah, I'll catch you in a bit, mate.
Listen, that's a genuine apology, that, because like I said...
No, I appreciate it, mate, but equally, you can see why I was offended, because I'm not like that, I'm not.
Rightly so, mate, rightly so, and I'm glad you didn't just roll over and just fucking let me speak to you the way I did. I more respect to you for doing that.
No, at the end of the day, mate, I've always got on with, and I don't want something that I see as being such a bizarre thing to do, stopping that.
Yeah, nice one, appreciate that.
Yeah. Alright, mate, if I hear it, I'll let you know.
Alright, cheers.
I'll catch you later, mate.